Now then, imagine being so terrified of leaving your home that the thought of setting foot outside your front door brings on the most debilitating of panic attacks and leaves you paralysed with fear.
Well, that's the reality for our next guest, Paula Ray, who suffers from such severe agoraphobia she hasn't left her house for over 20 years.
Paula joins us now from her home in Devon, along with the Sweetmans, who are live from Manchester, and we're going to be chatting to them, see if we can do anything to help in a moment. But first of all, let's start with you, Paula. So when did this first start for you?
1984, when I first had my first daughter.
And then from then on, explain what happened, how it progressed.
I started having panic attacks and severe anxiety. Then I was diagnosed with Ménière's disease in 1987, and the Ménière's disease just got worse, and the agoraphobia obviously got worse because of the Ménière's disease.
And this has meant that you've missed out on an awful lot in your life. I mean, you have children, and the biggest moment for you and the saddest moment for you was not being able to attend the weddings of your two daughters.
Correct.
And how has that made you feel? We can see it's upsetting.
I can't explain. It's hard for anybody to understand. There's nothing worse than seeing your daughters getting married and you can't be there. You can't be at your children's birth, give them birth, I haven't been out with any of my grandchildren outside of the house, like in the garden, bit of the garden. My eldest grandson is 11, Joshua. The youngest one, Callum, he's 3, and he doesn't understand why Nanny can't get out. The middle one calls me house nanny, so it's bless him, but I think they all know that because they've been, brought up with it, they know no difference. So.
And how much? We've got your husband, David, who's by the side. I'm not sure his talkback's working here, so I'm not sure whether or not he can hear us. But perhaps you could relay my question to him if he can't.
He's not connected.
Right. OK. Could you just ask him how it affects his life?
How's it affected you?
Well, it's been hard, isn't it? It's been hard because, like I said, we miss out on family events. Even just going out shopping together, the simple things in life we just don't get to do. I do everything on my own, and Paula just waits for me to come back.
So it literally is at the back door. You can get to the back door, but you can't take that step outside into the garden.
No, I can go about 18 foot into the back garden. A little bit less in the front now. It all depends on the day. Each day you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to wake up with the Ménière's and an attack as soon as you wake up and feeling sick. Sometimes you can be up for 3 hours and be fine, and then suddenly my balance can go and I can fall anywhere. And you can even, in bed, go off balance. I've been laying down and suddenly I'll just be pulled to the left-hand side and I've got no control over it. Have to go to bed with a bucket because I'm sick a lot, because it's got like a deep-pitted sickness. And
OK, well, we're going to...
the only way I can just...
Go on.
The only way I can describe it is when you're little children, you spin and spin around and suddenly stop. That's what it's like, but you're aware of everything and it's continuously.
Well, let's have a word with Nick.
Sometimes like 3 hours.
Nick and Eva now, who are in Manchester. We'll join them because we want to put you all in touch with each other. But preliminary, and this is a sort of first meeting here, guys. This is. You constantly say that you can deal with very, very difficult topics. Some that you said, we're not sure we can do it, and you've achieved miraculous results. But this strikes me as being very different and difficult because there is an underlying medical condition here.
That's right, because this actually, phobias are based on rational thoughts, but you know, there's a rational thought behind this, because I think if anyone was thinking about going outside and they might fall over, you know, they won't want to go outside. So I actually understand there's a good theory behind it.
Well,
And we're so sorry to hear you suffering, Paula. And I know that you say that you have enormous guilt, but you know, believe us when we say that agoraphobia is extremely common, obviously on different levels. But you shouldn't be suffering like this, because albeit that you do have Ménière's disease, and like Nick said, phobia by definition means an irrational fear, and on some level your fear is very rational because you're protecting yourself from sort of injury or embarrassment should you go out and fall. However, there will be many other people out there who also suffer with Ménière's disease who are able to go out, and therefore you should not be trapped.
Paula had a particular incident where she went out to the shops and she fell, and Dave had gone to park the car or was outside the shop. She fell over and she couldn't get up again because of the dizziness and the Ménière's, and people within the shop didn't help because they were just looking at her and saying, oh, well, she's drunk. And she had to crawl outside the shop. So that in itself has compounded the fear of falling over and having this dizziness attack outside, which has obviously driven her into the house for 20 years.
I totally understand that, and embarrassment will really create a negative behaviour because no one wants to be embarrassed. But I'm just thinking, has she ever considered going outside in a wheelchair?
Have you ever thought about that? Something that would
Recently.
keep you... Yeah, you have.
Recently had a wheelchair given to me. Tried it outside on the patio right outside the back door here, and was going backwards and forwards trying to, you know, manoeuvre and try and get used to it. And because of the motion of going backwards and forwards, it triggered off a Ménière's attack.
Well, you've got an awful lot to work.
Because it is actually movement.
What we'll do is, there's a lot to work on. What we'll do is we're going to put the two of you four of you actually, in touch with each other now. This is as we said, it's the initial meeting, just this chat now, and so at some stage we'll get you all together. Speakman's down to see you, and we'll try and help. But thank you very much indeed, all of you, for the moment.
Yeah, we look forward to see where this all goes. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Nick and Eva.
Thank
Good luck.
you.
Good luck. Thank you.